NC Pork. Good for the plate, great for the state.
Hey folks, David Glenn from the North Carolina Sports Network, being joined now by a guy whose name you've heard a lot, whose face you've seen a lot, whose voice you've heard a lot, Roy Lee Lindsey from the North Carolina Pork Council. Roy Lee, it's great to see you again.
Thank you.
Remind us why it is so important for y'all at the North Carolina Pork Council to be a part of an event like this that this year happened to set a Guinness World Record.
Yeah, you know, our producers, our farmers believe every day that we've got an ethical responsibility to give back to our communities. And through the sponsorship of the Whole Hog Barbecue Series, which the North Carolina Pork Council has sponsored for 40-something years, we run the state championship. You came to state championship last year. It's coming up in 2 weeks, y'all, so come join us. But we went back and looked over the last, since 2019, what has this meant to the state of North Carolina, these local contests and the state championship. And since 2019, we've had more than 240 of these contests. We've had more than 6,000 teams compete, some of them more than once, right? Because they enter multiple contests. We've been at more than 60 community organizations benefit from the sale of sandwiches or the sale of the product there. And we've raised more than $1.1 million for communities in North Carolina. Now, if you can find a better way to give back to your state, back to your local community, than feeding them great barbecue, maybe the world's best barbecue, right? And putting $1 million in, and that's just the last 5 years. So what does that number look like if we could go back and catch the numbers for the last 40 years? We're talking millions of dollars that local communities have invested, buying pork products. And for us, what we know is people love our product, they love what we do, and we need to just keep putting it out in front of them and letting them enjoy it and give back to their community all at the same time.
We're in Kinston today, but I know you guys are kind of omnipresent. Whether it's 100, I think, or so pit masters this time. Remind us how many of these competitions are going on in all corners of the state of North Carolina.
We would expect there will be more than 50 in 2025. There are a couple of days that we have them 2 on one weekend, but pretty much they run. We don't have many in January, but they'll start up in February and they'll run into November. Maybe we take a little break in August when it's quite so hot. But for us, the big one, if you will, is the state championship. That's coming up May 16 and 17. It'll be at the Gotta Be NC Festival at the State Fairgrounds in Raleigh on the 17th. We all judge our pigs. We will announce the state champion. We presented some state championship rings to last year's winner earlier today here in Kinston. We recognized the winner from 23 earlier today with his state championship rings, and so really excited about what that is. We present our traveling trophy, 40 years of state winners on that trophy. A lot of history and a lot of culture, and I said this earlier, I think that barbecue is the culture of North Carolina. When somebody gets married, we have a pig picking. When you're having a family reunion, you have a pig picking. You have a funeral, you have a pig picking. You're going to raise money for the volunteer fire department, you have a pig picking. Barbecue is the culture of North Carolina, and that's why we want to be a part of events like this.
Were you all at the North Carolina Pork Council allowed to contribute to the sale of 4,775 pork sandwiches?
We were able to promote the event.
Right.
We were able to help pay the cost to have the adjudicator here and participate in the contest, but we didn't buy a single sandwich. So there's nothing in this, as the guy said earlier, I think, that the most sandwiches any one person could buy was 10.
Yeah.
So we sold a lot of sandwiches today. I was floored when we got that final number, because you're just always nervous. We knew how many sandwiches we sold every year. We know that this is the largest whole hog barbecue event in the country and probably the world. And when you talk about 100-pound hogs, there are some places that do it with roaster pigs or maybe do a few more. But there's no better place in the world, and there's nowhere in the world that should own a barbecue world record outside of North Carolina. And so we're so excited to have this record here now. And let's see if somebody wants to challenge us and see can they get in.
Even though you're an executive and a big guy around here, apparently you didn't even know the final number. Were you an eyewitness under the white tent? Even if you're an eyewitness, you don't know the final number. But did you get to see just the crowd around that white tent and how quickly those things went out? Because I know it didn't take the full 8 hours to set.
No. I got here at 8 o'clock this morning, and I followed our judges around as they judged the professional division of the contest, sampled a little pork as we went through the day, which is a great way to start your day with a little piece of crispy skin and some properly cooked pork on top of it. And they started selling sandwiches. We started about 10:30 this morning, and I don't know, we were sold out 2 o'clock this afternoon and sold all the meat we had, 100 hogs that we cooked. Turned that into sandwiches, turned into 4,700 sandwiches, and what an event. And folks were lined up before we started selling, and to just watch them. Kinston does just a fabulous job with this. The number of volunteers that this takes an army to put together. There are hundreds of volunteers to make this go, and you look up and down the street right now, we still got vendors out here, we still got food vendors. It's a community celebration here in Kinston. For 44 years they've been doing this. It's unbelievable.
And some of these folks have been a part of it for 20 or 25 of those 44 years. As we let you go, and thank you for not only your presence here, but your partnership with the North Carolina Sports Network, what would you want to remind folks about the other aspects of your job and the impact of the pork industry on the great state of North Carolina?
Yeah, be watching, because we're going to send you guys some new economic impact numbers. We just got them this week, but quick glance is economic impact of the pork industry in North Carolina is more than $10 billion in receipts back to our farmers, as well as value-added product and some of that indirect investment here in the state. 42,000 jobs involved in North Carolina in the pork industry. We are the second largest component of agriculture in the state, and agriculture is the largest component of the largest industry in the state. And so we're very proud of that role and that responsibility. That comes with a responsibility to take care of our animals, to take care of the environment, to take care of our people, and to invest back in our communities. And we take that very seriously as our people work every day to put safe, affordable food on your table.
That's Roy Lee Lindsey, North Carolina Pork Council, and you're joining us on the North Carolina Sports Network.